Emily. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak to myself today. The last time I spoke to you was for an article in the Clydesider magazine about your journey over battling mental health issues and how you turned your experience into a positive by pursuing your lifelong dream as a singer. Now, you've moved massively from then. You now have a show on a radio station. That's awesome. Can you tell me a wee bit about that, Emily?
So obviously lockdown was very unexpected for everyone, and it meant that musicians could no longer do live gigs. I just heard through the grapevine that there was a local man had started a wee community radio station. His name's Alan Caldwell, and him and his friend Paul Lucas, they started kind of building it into a proper online radio station. I was just amazed. I thought, that's brilliant. I didn't know there was somebody doing a local community radio, and it just sounded like exactly what the local area needed. We don't have a local community radio station in the Vale of Leven, and especially I think during lockdown it's been great for everybody's morale. Coupled with that and my own kind of well-being journey with mental health, I had started a wee Facebook group back in February called Face the Day with Emily, which is still going, so if anybody watching this wants to join, they would be more than welcome. So we talk about all aspects of mental health and well-being. As soon as I heard about leaving lockdown radio, I thought, I wonder if I could do something similar to what I was doing with my group, but do it on the radio. I mean, I don't have any experience as a radio presenter. Obviously, I love music. It's my passion. So it was a good way to kind of combine the two passions of the kind of well-being and helping other people, and then also being able to play and talk about all the music that I like. So that's how it kind of came about for me.
Tell me a bit about the show that you actually do, your slot, and what it's about.
Sure. Okay, well, my show is called Heart of the Vale. I wanted it to incorporate, the local area. I don't know if you've seen the signs when you drive in and out of Alexandria that say, welcome to Alexandria, the heart of the Vale. And obviously I live in Alexandria, and that's where I'm from. And also because I've been trying to kind of live life from a more sort of heart-led place rather than from your head, because unfortunately, as much as our brains are amazing, sometimes they're your best friend, but they can also be your worst enemy, as we know. There's more to life than just what's in your head. You've also got, your heart and soul to think about. It's a 2-hour show. It's a daytime show, and it's now on a Saturday from 12 till 2. We do have a listen again function as well. All my shows are available on replay on the River Radio website. It's a mixture of me sharing my personal journey with anxiety and depression. Another big feature of my show is I get special guests on to do interviews. I wanted it to be a mixture of local people and maybe like experts in the area of mental health and well-being. So that's basically my show, and I just play a sort of eclectic mix of music that means something to me. And
so do you have phone-ins, and do you have like support numbers and organisations that you direct people to?
I don't personally do phone-ins because my shows are pre-recorded at the moment. What I do is most weeks when my show is on air, I have a live chat thread in my Facebook group. I post a wee start of a thread just saying, this is the Heart of the Vale chat thread. If anybody wants to chat about anything that's relevant to the show or just anything well-being related that you would like to speak about. In terms of directing people to resources, I wanted to have people like Jackie Straka from Stepping Stones coming on, because one of the questions I asked her was if there is someone listening who does feel that, they're not coping with their thoughts and feelings, but they just feel not right in themselves, I asked Jackie, what advice would you give them? So she said the first thing I would say to anyone is try to speak to a trusted friend or family member that you feel you can confide in. And if you don't feel able to do that, then there are the listening services like Breathing Space and Samaritans. Stepping Stones, I know that during lockdown they were limited to taking referrals from GPs surgeries, but I do believe I saw that they were going to be in a position to start taking self-referral forms again. Because that's the thing about stepping stones, you don't have to go through your GP. You can just call them or email them normally. I do kind of try and point people towards where help is available, and I'm always available for people to chat to in my Face the Day group if they would like to. They'd be welcome to join.
That's great, Emily. Now, you use singing and writing as a healing process for yourself.
Yeah.
Have you been singing on your radio show?
Good question. No, I've not been singing live on air. There was one weekend where Alan and Paul tried to convince me to come and sing live on their Saturday night show, and I said no chance. But that was before I had my condenser microphone. But no, I've not been singing live on the radio. I have done a couple of wee Facebook lives once I eventually plucked up the courage on my Emily Fraser music page. But I've not been as prolific with the live performances as I would have liked.
Is the radio station, is it going to continue to run?
Indeed, it is going to continue to run, Angela, which obviously we're all over the moon about. It was decided a while back that, you know, it would continue after lockdown, so we had to plan a sort of relaunch, because it's not going to be Leaving Lockdown Radio anymore. It's going to be River Radio, and yeah, it's just going to be brilliant. It's going to continue. We're all really buzzing about that. It's just so good that we're going to have that in the local community.
So, can anyone get involved?
A River Radio Facebook page, and they do have a post on there somewhere saying, you know, if you are interested in getting involved, please contact us. But yeah, I mean, I just got in touch with Alan and Paul. I didn't know them. I just messaged them. You know, you've made a good decision when you just kind of follow your heart and you don't overthink it. But the day that I heard about the radio station, I was like, I'm contacting them. I just sent them a couple of wee voice clips on Facebook Messenger, and they've been very, very welcoming and friendly, and they've helped me so much and sort of supported me with my show. So if there's anyone out there that's interested in any aspect of it, then definitely get in touch with them in the first instance.
Thanks, Emily. You've came a long way on your own journey, and I certainly hope to see more of you and hear more of your singing. What would you say to anybody who found themselves similar situation that you found yourself in?
If you had told me that in March 2018 that this is what I'd be doing now, I wouldn't have believed you, because my brain wasn't wired to have that sort of self-belief at that time. So I think I would just say to people that it sounds like a cliche, but you never know what's round the corner. If I could just urge people to dig deep and reach out to anyone. It doesn't have to be someone that you know. It can be, you know, a professional, a charity, one of the phone lines that you can phone. Sometimes it feels like you're very alone, but what I find reassuring is there are a lot of people out there who care about you, and they're not necessarily those closest to you. I mean, obviously sometimes they are, but if you feel really alone, and you know, a lot of mental health problems come from people having damaged relationships with family members and relationships, you know, with partners and things, and but there are other people out there. If the people in your immediate circle don't understand you, it doesn't mean that no one will understand you, because there are people out there who will understand exactly what you're going through, and they'll be only too happy to help you. And that's why I'm so grateful that I found stepping stones, and I've got some lifelong friends there now. They're almost like family. We all met up for the first time since lockdown. We met up at Bowling Harbour for a socially distant kind of picnic thing, and it was like being with family. So when I think, you know, I didn't know those people 2 years ago. So, you know, life has endless potential, but you need to recognise that you're worth it, and just try and hang on a wee bit longer until things get better, and they will.
thanks very much for taking the time to speak.
You're welcome.
And
I nearly made myself cry there.
and your great message of hope. So that's super. Thanks again, Emily, and thanks for taking the time to speak to me again today.
Very welcome. Thank you, Angela. Bye. Bye just now.
Bye.